So who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Monica Wilkinson. I'm Director of Engineering for Socialcast. Socialcast is an activity streams enterprise platform.
And I'm Kevin Marks, VP of Web Services for BT.
Excellent. So we were talking about sort of people creating personal brands out there, and when I mentioned that to you, Monica, you lit up. And why is creating a personal brand so critical today, rather than just having a simple paper resume?
So I think it's critical for obviously for job security reasons. So within Socialcast, we use the concept of a work log, and throughout the day, you want to constantly remind your peers and your organization that you're being productive and you're contributing to the bottom line. So with the concept of a work log, as people are doing work wherever they are constantly tracking and producing activities of the work they are doing. And this is being rated by all their peers and by people who are working with the products, right? So it's very important to build their personal brand because they can say at the end of the day, here are all my contributions over the last month, over the last year. So I think right now we're at a point in the industry where that information is considered very private and we're not ready to expose it or let employees take it with them, but it's something that I would really like to see happen. So I would really like to empower the employee and let them take their accomplishments with them so it's not just a sheet of paper.
Good point. Now, Kevin, you actually have a pretty impressive personal brand. Is there anything that you've done that you think could translate to others, that you would give advice to others on how to create their own?
Well, I would say don't think about it as a personal brand, because if you do that, you're misfocusing. You're saying, how am I selling myself, as opposed to what am I doing? What I've done is had conversations in public with people about things that I care about, and build up stuff that way. So it meant that when I was looking for a new job after leaving Apple, because I'd been blogging and having conversations with people in public, straight away several people said, "Oh, you should go and talk to this person. You can make the introductions there." There's value in doing things in public, but if it's the same thing as, like, am I going to this room to network with people, or am I going to this room to have a conversation with people? If you say, I'm going here to network and I've got a stack of business cards and that's my metric, you're doing it wrong. The point is you've actually got to have a conversation with someone about something that matters to you and to them, and that's what's building up. So rather than saying, this will look good on my resume, it's like, have I actually achieved something here? Have I done something that other people appreciate? That's the takeaway I'd give.
So your discoverability is really from your history of conversations, yes?
Absolutely. You're making an impact in real time, and your audience is affecting your decisions in real time. So I absolutely agree with that. I don't know how we're going to figure out the privacy concerns and the data ownership concerns.
And that became a big issue in some of the HR panels I was in yesterday, was who owns that data when you are at the company, especially like content you're creating on Facebook?
That is a challenge, and what it comes down to is coming to some agreement internally, what you're publishing, and also making it clear what you're saying as an individual and what you're saying as a spokesman. And I've been a public spokesman for Google. I'm speaking public for BT. I don't always expressly reflect exactly what the corporate view is, and I will make it clear when I'm saying this is what I'm thinking. And this is what the organization thinks. But it comes down to, again, being clear in your own mind which parts are part of you and which parts are part of the corporation.
Has there been a case where you've seen an organization do a really good job of defining, what is yours and what is theirs, or just how they sort of built that relationship with their staff about how they can and can't behave in the social sphere?
Previously, when I was working at Facebook, I was an open standards advocate, and I was essentially a spokesperson for Facebook. And they were very, very clear. They had very strict rules that there was no communication that you could really engage on. You couldn't really have a public persona that reflected Facebook in any way, because immediately, if they know you work at Facebook, you're immediately talking about the brand. So they were very, very clear and had really good rules. I'm not saying that those rules were good, but they just completely prohibited having public conversations unless they were reviewed by somebody from PR.
So were you allowed to put on your LinkedIn resume that you actually worked at Facebook?
Yes, that's as far as it could go.
Right. I worked at Apple, and they had a very tight policy. And in fact, they did tell me stop talking about our products in public because you will be seen as a spokesman, and anything in public has to be done through PR. So I stopped talking about their products, started talking about other things, and ended up leaving the company and working on the other things because they were more interesting.